danger.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, good.
It's me. Can anybody guess who this is? Who is this masked man? Anyway, everybody, it's Pastor Will and
Jimmy.
And this is the Will and
Jimmy Show.
Right here at Shades of Grace.
Yes.
And I wore my Will and Jimmy Show t-shirt today.
You did.
Yep.
And I didn't.
I've worn it 2 days in a row.
All right.
And speaking of that, we've ordered some new ones.
Yes, we did.
And so I know a few folks are looking for them. And so if you need your Will and Jimmy Show t-shirt, give us a call. We'll save one for you, or you pick it up, okay?
Yeah.
They'll be in a day or two, won't they, Jimmy?
No, about 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
About 2 more weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
I want it when I order something. I want it yesterday.
Yeah, I do too.
But we need to get some more of Jimmy's shirts that he's wearing today. You can't see it.
Yeah.
But it says, I like records and maybe 3 people. And my list is down to about 2 this morning.
Amen. I always say it's never the same 3 people. It changes.
That's right. We're recording this on Wednesday. Normally we do this on Tuesday, the day before. But we've just been covered up. It's been an unusual time here at Shades of Grace. And so we're actually recording this today. You're going to get it delivered to you the same day that we're doing it, just a few hours later.
That's only happened a few times before. Feels strange, really.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So yeah, it's Wednesday morning.
It's Wednesday, and it's just so much happening. It's just unbelievable. But first, I wanted to give us an update, Jimmy, on how everything went over the weekend.
Well, we had a good service, an inaugural service for our new chairs.
Oh, yes.
Here at Shades of Grace. And I tell you, everybody needs to come check these chairs out.
Yes.
They are so comfortable, and they kind of rock a little bit.
Oh, it actually, they're like the one I have. The one I'm sitting in does not have the leather arm covers, but this is the same chair, really. This is an older one, but they'll rock a little bit. I said when people get happy, they don't may have to raise their hands or jump up. They can just rock a little bit.
That's right.
When they're praising the Lord.
That's right.
But now these are very comfortable chairs, and we've got them socially distanced still as much as we can.
And we had a very large crowd.
Yes.
Very active crowd. Everybody was involved and had a good time at service.
Yes, our building is almost full again on Saturday mornings, believe it or not.
You said, and this is perfect, this is exactly right. You know it's a good service when people don't want to leave.
Yes.
Everybody was hanging around.
We had people here an hour and a half after the service ended who just didn't want to go home. And that's happened the past 2 Saturdays.
So that's good.
Yeah,
that's definitely good.
So we're doing worship on Saturdays. So you come on out, invite somebody, be with us, casual. You can wear your t-shirts, your shorts, flip-flops, whatever you want. I told someone this week who was visiting here, another pastor, that if you come and visit, don't wear a suit and tie because then we wonder what you're up to. You know?
That's right. Yeah.
We're suspicious.
Yes.
But anyway, we appreciate our Saturday worship. It's working out well for us. And I believe God was in the arrangements all the way as we're coming out of the pandemic. We are wearing our mask because we were scheduled to have a missions weekend. We were going to be hosting 20 people from Huntington, West Virginia. They were to arrive tomorrow afternoon, and they were going to be here on Friday and serve a few hundred meals for the needy and homeless from their portable food kitchen. And then they were going to be we're going to have a Friday night live service here with their musicians in our building, and then they were going to worship with us on Saturday. And the pastor texted me on Sunday and said, I'm going to have all of the missions team test for COVID before we leave. But it turns out that when he called me Monday, they already had 8 members of their team with COVID. 2 tested positive, I think, on Sunday evening, and 6 more on Monday. And their attendance was down quite a bit in their worship on Sunday. So they've had to reschedule that missions weekend. and they were disappointed. And Jimmy, I think to say the least, you were disappointed.
Sure, absolutely. I was really looking
We
forward.
were really looking
Because
forward
we were
to this.
just kind of starting to
Right.
plan the week, you
Yeah.
know, and how everything was going to go, and
Nobody knows a lot of planning goes into anything
Yeah.
like this.
yeah.
But
And-
it's all okay, and we do plan to reschedule this sometime in the future, and we will have that opportunity.
They were going to be prepared. They have a food truck.
Yes,
Feeding with Grace. Is that
Feeding
right?
with Grace,
Feeding
yes.
with Grace. So you can actually look that up
they're
on
from
Facebook.
Grace Christian Fellowship in Huntington.
And
Yes.
get some good information on what they do.
Yes.
But they were prepared to feed 300 people
Yes, they
here
were.
on Friday.
Yeah.
So this upcoming Friday.
And
So-
we had talked to Michael at Hunger First, and we're going to coordinate deliveries to the West Side Inn and all of that. But everything has to be kind of put on hold for right now due to COVID, and so that's why we're doing this again.
Yeah.
And we have a sign at our door that says masks are recommended. I don't like to use the word required. You know, that seems a little bit, I don't know, for a church that sounds a little bit harsh, but I'm asking you to strongly consider wearing your mask. And we do have these N95s available, and we'll hand you one at the door when you come in and encourage you to put it on. And I know that few people are on oxygen and different things where they really can't wear a mask for any length of time. We understand that.
Right.
But we're still trying to keep everybody safe.
I'm hearing lots of stories.
Yes.
About, you know,
Yes.
workplaces, churches,
Yeah.
having outbreaks. Thank God, really, that it's not as extreme. The
Yes.
symptoms aren't, but still, it's COVID.
Yes.
And people are dying. So
We heard
need to
of
be
2
careful.
persons this week who died with COVID
Yes.
locally. And plus, you know, these masks also protect you from the monkeypox.
Yeah,
I hope.
that's right.
And also, someone was here yesterday, I think Nancy, who works in our clothing closet on 2 days a week, told me that the flu has already broken out in the schools and in our area. It's early this year.
Yes.
She said the good news is they think that maybe the brand of vaccine that was projected for this year in other countries is the right vaccine for this particular strain. So that will hopefully help lessen the consequences. But
Yes.
I still think wearing a mask when you're in the crowd, it's a good idea for flu, monkeypox, whatever. I mean, sometimes it just covers up ugly.
There's lots of things that can. Right. You don't have to smile at everybody
That's
if
right.
you're having a bad day.
That's right. And you can say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you."
But you know, I have gotten in such a habit
Yeah.
of it. If I do go in somewhere and I don't have it,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm missing something.
You and me
kind
both.
of patting your pocket. Do I have my wallet? Do I have my keys? Oh, it's the mask. I don't
Yeah,
have a mask.
exactly.
You know,
And so I try to do that, but we are encouraging that for now. We hope this is going to be of short duration, but
yes. But you know, cooler temperatures are coming, so it's
Yes.
a concern.
that's true.
You know.
And when we're working here at the doors with all kinds of people coming to the door, we are here to serve a very diverse population, and many of those they have all kinds of health issues going on, and we have to deal with them. We have to. I mean, it's our ministry. We are in close proximity, so we're doing our best to try to keep everybody safe.
Right. We are.
So I guess we've said enough about that, Jimmy. We have something really special coming up next Thursday.
Oh yes,
A week
we
from
do.
tomorrow.
Good news. This
Can
is
you
good
believe it?
news. The final community block party
Yes,
for the season is the 18th, Thursday the 18th.
a week from tomorrow.
from 6 to 8:30.
Right.
The weather didn't cooperate with us much last time,
Right.
but it cleared up enough for us to have a good time.
Right.
So we pray for good weather next week. Looks like the temperatures are starting to kind of lower a bit.
Oh, we're supposed to get down to around 50 or in the low 50s,
Oh, I'm excited.
and low humidity. I'm
Yes.
really looking forward to that after this extended heat wave.
So next Thursday, come out and join us. We're going to have another big water slide. We're going to have a foaming machine for the kids, and we got hot dogs and all the fixings
And watermelon.
and watermelon, of course,
Yeah.
and good music.
Oh, yes.
Good music.
Hey, does Oscar know, have we given him the correct date for that? We originally scheduled it for 2 weeks away, didn't we? And then something came up.
That was last month.
Was that last
Yeah,
month?
that was last month.
I don't know.
No, this one.
Well, anyway.
I think he does. I'll make sure he.
We'll
does.
make sure
Yeah.
Oscar knows it, Landon knows it. we'll be able to do live music, and we'll just have a great time again.
So that means it's kind of the end of the, well, school's already started.
School has started.
So the summer's ending, it's coming to an end. And, so this is kind of like a last little summer bash.
Yes,
kind of
that
thing.
is true. Yeah.
But lots of kids in that community over there, lots of children, where that is something that we've never really had here at Shades of Grace.
Exactly.
There's not really been we have a lot of people call from time to time asking, do you have children's clothing? We had people calling if we were doing a
back to
school supply drive or something like that. And this church has never really had a children's ministry. Mm-hmm. It definitely addresses a whole other need.
Yes, it does.
But the community campus picks up where Shades leaves off.
Yeah, it does.
It really does.
It's helped us to become more full service for families in a different kind of way, in a more spiritual, teaching, worshipful kind of way.
Right, exactly.
So
and we had a lot of good. We've made some friends over there over the last couple of months. We sure have. We've met some nice people and got to know them, and they. I noticed names, that watch our services. Both Wednesday and Sunday here at Shades of Grace, and I've seen a lot of the newer names that are coming from people I've met at community.
Okay, wonderful.
Are following our services on Facebook,
and that's so important that we do connect with the people and build these relationships.
Yes,
for sure.
And so it's exciting. Good things are happening, and hopefully we'll have some new siding up over there soon.
Oh man, we're still waiting for that. The shutters and the siding.
I hear everybody talking about how long it's taking anything to get done.
Yeah.
Car repair. We've had car repair. Any kind of plumbing. I heard plumbing work just the other day. Someone was talking about how, and even landscaping. Somebody was telling me that it's hard to get people to mow and trim and stuff. These days.
We'll get to your yard next spring. We'll start about April.
Times have changed. They really have.
Surely they have.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep working with the community and see what happens over there. Okay, Jimmy, you mentioned something there about school starting, and some of you might have noticed I put something on our Facebook page. If you don't follow Shades of Grace, you need to.
Sure, yeah.
But I had posted a picture that came up from about 4 years ago or so. You remember that? I was standing in the building, and I looked out, and it's a picture of the school bus. And that's before we had the tenting and the new sign put on our window. So that's why I know it's been about 4 years. But we used to have a little boy. But not only one, but it's happened numerous times. But I'm thinking of this one little boy, and I don't even remember his name. Do you?
Not right off.
But he was from a homeless family, he and his mom, and they were sleeping out. For him, it was like a camping experience. They were sleeping outside. This was still in the warmer weather, and he would come here every morning, and we would open up early, and we would give him something to eat, and then he would get on the school bus here. I think Marlene or some of the people here would come in early and make sure that he had food, and then in the evenings the school bus would stop again, and he would get off, and we would have snacks for him and for some other kids. And this became an unofficial stop. Shades of Grace Church became a place for folks to board the bus and to get off the bus, and which was really unique and unusual. And so, do we need to check something out there?
No, I think we're okay. I think we're okay.
Okay.
Well, I can edit that. Is everything okay? Yeah.
Okay. All right. I heard a lady talking.
I did too.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'll pull that out.
Okay.
Okay.
So back it up.
Okay.
So Shades of Grace became a place for children to communicate with us, to get something to eat, and sometimes we'll give them clothing or whatever to help them. And so that picture came up of a post from a few years ago. Well, what most people don't know about, I guess it was 2 years later, so maybe it was 5 years ago when the little boy that I'm talking about, because I had gone to eat, and this was way before the pandemic, because I haven't been eating out in restaurants since the pandemic started. Rarely do I go out anymore. But I'd gone over with a friend to Black Olive restaurant, not too far from where I live in Jonesboro, and was there eating, and a little boy, did I tell you this story?
Yeah.
Little
Yeah, I
boy
remember
came up
this.
to my table,
Yeah.
and he said, "Hey, Pastor Will, do you remember me?" And so I kind of, he had to tell me a little bit about who he was and what, but he said, "I used to get off you always met me from the school bus at Shades of Grace." And he had a brand new pair of cowboy boots on. And he was so proud of those boots. And he'd grown about this much taller. Nice looking little boy. And he's probably about 10 or 11, maybe, or so at the time I met him. And he said, "Pastor Will," he said, "thank you so much. He said, I want you to meet my new family."
Oh.
He said, "I've got a new family now. And they're adopting me. And they're really, really a good family, and they're good to me." And he invited his family over to the table where John and I were sitting and introduced his new family to me. And that touched my heart because, what we do here, every day we touch people's lives. We interact with people, with children. Sometimes we may see them once or twice, and sometimes we see them 5 times a day. Mm-hmm. But we never know what kind of an influence or an impact that we're having in someone's life.
Yes.
And that really validated to me and affirmed our calling and our mission here at Shades of Grace, that we are doing the right thing.
And days can be tough.
Yes.
Around here.
And today, believe you me, this morning has been tough.
It's not.
And it's not even
11
11 o'clock yet.
And it's hard sometimes. And I'm not complaining. I'm just kind of. But it's hard to go home sometimes and just detach from the day.
Yeah.
Because it's emotional. You can't help but reach out and feel it in your heart with these situations. And but it is good to hear stories like that.
Yes,
there are many success stories.
Oh, many.
I know that some don't think that they are, but there are really many success stories.
Well, and that one I had not even thought about for several years, but when that picture came up, that's a good back to school story since we're back now and going. Some people are still not in session yet.
But
we're in our second week.
How many times have you had somebody come to the door and say, "Hey, you remember me?"
Right.
One
day you and I were leaving here. Was it you and I? When the young man from Rogersville?
Yeah, Tim.
Yes. Yeah, you remember his name?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
And he had walked here back 5 years ago or so. He had walked from jail to get here, and his shoes were actually touching pavement, his feet. Well, yeah, I hope his shoes were touching pavement, but his feet were touching, his soles were touching pavement. And we helped him, and he'd gotten the job, and he was homeless for a period of time and came to worship here, and I believe he might have even been baptized.
He was baptized.
He was baptized here.
There was him and Robert, another gentleman.
Yes, that is right. Yes,
together.
yes.
Yeah.
And so we hadn't seen him in 3, 4 years?
About 4 years, yeah.
And Jimmy and I were locking up later, and we normally leave a little early, but it was almost 5 o'clock.
Yes, it was.
We were here late, and somebody was knocking on the door, and it was Tim.
Tim, yeah.
And he said, "You know what? I'm living down in Hawkins County. Everything's going good. He has a job, has family." He said, "But I had to come to Kingsport today, to town for something." And he said, "I just wanted to stop by Shades of Grace and thank you all for all you did to help me get back on my feet and get me back to where I need to be." So we get a lot of those stories.
There's another part to that story too.
Okay.
That day he came. Wow, it just gives
I've forgotten a lot of it.
Gives me chills already just thinking about this. So he came and he was talking about being baptized here.
Oh yes.
I was working on the Shades of Grace anniversary special. We did last year.
That was the time you were working.
And I had been going through pictures and videos, and I had just that night before that he came here pulled a picture of his baptism to use as part of that anniversary special, and I had it on my phone.
Oh,
I said, "Tim, you're not going to believe this. I have this. I just found this picture last night of you," and he tears came in his eyes, and I sent it to him on his. He gave me his number, and I sent it to him for him to be able to keep. And that was just the night before.
Right.
Amazing.
That is amazing.
Yeah, sure is.
That is. I see what we need to. that tells us the power of story.
Yeah.
And Jesus was a master storyteller. I mean, he told the stories and captivated the people, and they said, never have we heard anybody speak like this man.
Yeah.
And for he speaks as one with authority. But I think we need to start sharing some of these stories more, don't you?
Yeah.
We need to remember what God has done.
Yep. And you know, how many times have we ever felt bad about where we are in our life, and we go to God and say, hey, do you remember me?
Yeah.
You know, and people come here and ask the same question.
Yeah.
Remember me?
And it touched him when he
Yeah.
realized that we hadn't forgotten him.
Yeah. Man, and when you know, we haven't seen him since,
Right.
but I have a firm belief that he's doing well.
Oh, I do too.
That baptism was life changing.
It was, yes. And then we're talking about Robert while we're at it. Do you remember his girlfriend's name? I can't remember
I
names.
remember her face, but I don't remember her
But
name.
Robert also was baptized at that time. And when he came to us, he was bitter. He was angry. Robert was 30-some, I guess, wasn't he? Maybe late 30s.
Yeah.
But he was a
Triple.
triple amputee. He had both legs off above the knees, and one arm was off right here at the elbow, and he had the left arm was all he had left. And he had been riddled with bullets. Do you remember how many times?
I think he said 18. if I remember.
18 gunshots.
Yeah.
He was in a gang fight somewhere, some kind of a gunfight.
It was a he told
Drug
me it was
deal
a
gone
drug
wrong.
deal gone bad. Yeah.
And he had lost both legs and one arm, and he was angry, he was bitter. He's in a wheelchair, and his fiance, thank God for her, pushed him around everywhere he went because he couldn't have gotten around, and we helped them to get into an apartment. It was up on a hill, but they struggled so much. But through it all, Robert came one day and he said, I need to talk about this. And he began to pour out his heart story and shared with me that he'd never been a Christian. He'd never followed the faith of Jesus or been baptized. And so it all worked out. You've still got pictures of that
Yes.
baptism.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And he began serving the Lord, and he said, I've never had joy. And I remember in that baptism, as he was there in that wheelchair, and you were pouring the water on him, the smile and the elation expressed on his
Yes.
face.
Yes.
And we don't know where he is. Robert's been gone now. I think they went to Knoxville or Nashville.
I was thinking Nashville. That's what I was
Nashville.
thinking.
We've not seen him for 3 years
Yeah.
maybe, but we have so many of those kinds of stories. So on days when you're overwhelmed and you're faced with hard decisions and it's tough, and this work is tough, we need to start remembering these stories.
Yeah.
And start remembering why we're here, because there have been lives that truly have been changed.
I already feel better.
I feel better.
Because
Yes.
we were struggling this morning a
I
little
tell you,
bit,
between
know.
us, you that are watching, Jimmy and I had just about decided we couldn't do a program for tonight. We couldn't do it yesterday, and then this morning we have been so overwhelmed and crowded out and pushed and shoved and on the phone and just, it's almost like a demonic attack.
Yes, absolutely.
It is. I mean,
Yeah.
and people calling on the phone and telling us, rumors of things that aren't true at all. We've faced so many battles in 8 years of people trying to close this ministry down. But I've got news for you, friends. We may get frustrated and down and out, but we ain't going anywhere.
That's right.
I mean, we own property here,
Yep.
and we ain't leaving. And so
Preach.
just get with it. We're
right.
here. We were doing work at Community recently, painting, and the guys stopped in. They said, somebody just called the city offices and complained that we were working, that Shades of Grace was doing construction work without a permit, and called city code enforcers. And the man came in, looked all around. He said, well, what are y'all doing? And there's painting. Well, you're not doing anything about it. No. But, they've tried to shut us down. They've called the code enforcement. We're done with that kind of stuff. We don't have time for
this
it.
morning's call was just about a picture that somebody that knows somebody thought they saw on Facebook.
Yeah.
and was concerned.
Yeah.
And it was not even close to being true.
No.
Just another day.
Yeah, it's another day.
I'm glad that we got to do this. I feel better.
And I feel better just getting that out tonight.
Now we get to go and face the day.
Yeah, we will.
I have a better heart about it today.
I do too. Yeah.
And
this work is tough, but you know what? You that are viewing this, every one of you, we all are shades of grace.
Yes.
And when you send $1, when you send $20, when you send food, when you make sandwiches, whatever you do, that causes the kingdom of God to come near. And we're not doing it. It's you're doing it.
Right.
We're all doing it together.
Yeah.
And thank God we're not alone in this.
That's right. I'm thankful just for the friendships.
Yes.
The people and several I've not met.
Right.
That I just know virtually, but you are my friends.
Tell us one more story real quick about the lady yesterday that and Dr. Smitty came by.
Oh yeah.
Tell us that real quick.
You're going to have to remind me.
Yeah.
So someone had called and wanted to donate some insulin. And she had a lot of those Novolog pens, and those are very expensive pens. And they were all in date, all had been refrigerated. And she said that the Lord led her. She didn't know what she was going to do with them, but the Lord led her to call Shades of Grace.
And she'd never been here.
And she'd never been here. She had heard about us, she'd read about us, but she'd never been here. And as I was talking to her on the phone and talking about where she lived in the same neighborhood that I grew up in. And she said, "What's your name?" I said, "Jimmy." And she said, "What's your last name?" I said, "Rogers." She said, "Little Jimmy Rogers?" And I said, "Well, I don't know if that's true." But anyway, she worked in the convenience store in the little town that I grew up in, where we used to go get our sodas and candy bars and stuff. And it was great to reconnect with her. And she came in yesterday. I got to see her for the first time in probably 30 years, I guess. And just reconnected, and she was just amazed at the building. She got to see a lot of what we do. It was very busy when she was here, and I need to let her know, and I'll call her later today. I hadn't even had a chance. It'd been so busy. I was going to call Dr. Smitty and say, "Hey, Dr. Smitty, we have some insulin here for you to pick up to use for your..."
For those of you that don't know, Dr. Smitty is an activist in our community. He has... he's in charge of a lot of mobile clinics and does so much to help people. And when we get medical supplies donated to us, whether it's bandages or anything that's in date and unopened, we give to him, and he's able to use that in his free clinics.
And the day had gotten busy. I had almost forgot about it. And then guess who shows up? Dr. Smitty.
And Jimmy asked me later, "Did you call him?" I said, "No, he just showed up."
And the good news is, and this is, I didn't even think about this, this is amazing. The insulin is going to go to Kentucky.
Yes.
For the flood victims who can't get to their insulin.
That's right.
And that Novolog, I guess that's one of the most popular ones, and that pen is one of the most expensive ones to get, I guess. So,
and he said they're begging for it in Kentucky.
And I know they're heading there today.
Yeah.
So
isn't that great?
It'll be there later today.
And that's just how it rolls at Shades of Grace. That's how God operates. And we can't let life get us down.
Yes.
You know, we get torn in trying to make right decisions and do everything with the mind of Christ and looking through our Jesus eyes. Right. But it's tough even at that, isn't it, Jimmy?
Yes, it is. And this lady's name, her name was Joy. She brought joy. She's not on Facebook. She was great to me when I was a child. She was so nice to me.
Well, I met her there just as before
she's
she
with
left.
Oak Glen Baptist Church in Fall Branch.
Well, that's what she told me when I walked by the desk.
So we made a new ministry party yesterday. I have a feeling we're going to be here. She told me I know where the church is. And it's a little small country church, good church. And I think we made a ministry partner yesterday. We'll be having hearing more.
Well, she told me, she said, she gave me her name and she said, God, she said, I prayed and the Lord led me to Shades of Grace.
Yeah. Woo.
Isn't that great?
That's great.
So we end on a good note.
So we don't have any music trivia tonight. We don't have any Bible trivia. And it didn't work this week. I had something kind of planned for you, but at the last minute I scrapped it. It's actually laid on my desk, but we'll do that next week.
Let's put it this way. You all are just really blessed that you're able to get what you're getting tonight.
Amen.
Because it almost didn't happen.
Almost.
But
well, thank you all for joining us and sticking with us and being faithful. And
yes,
we're so appreciative of each of you.
Amen.
We really are.
Bless you all. Good night.
All right.
God bless you, Jimmy. Don't let me forget my mask.
Put that mask on.
And if I lose my way, you tell me how to get home, okay?
I'll try.
Bye, everybody. God bless you. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.